Thank you. Hi, everyone. Billel, I work for Taqeef here in Dubai. It was very interesting, the previous topic. So I'll try to make it as much as I can interesting. Let me share my screen for a second. Let me know if you can all see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen and hear you as well. Please go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, so I was just wondering, because it's something that we have. So Taqeef is a company that is a joint venture with Fujitsu Energy, where we have a big project related to HVAC industry. So we are installing AC around the Middle East, in hospitals, in villas. We are also very involved in IoT and in product that you can control from your smart home. So it's a business that is very complex because we work with contractors, we work with, for example, MR, big developers. We work with any one of you that wants to change his AC at home in his villa. So we have different type actually of customers, and we have to build products that are a bit different based on a different type of customer that we need to deal with. So I try to summarize, and obviously it's not a Bible or anything, the type of question, or try to avoid pitfalls when we try to build product. So there is 5 questions. Definitely, like I said, it's just a kind of yardstick for you to measure your decision, but I wanted to share it with you today. So in our team, we have a team of product manager, and the first thing that we are trying to ask ourselves is first what we do during the day. So I try to have a look, and I pulled from a McKinsey report on product management index, what a product manager do during his days. So you can see actually a product manager can go at 10,000 feet into the project strategy, what platform you have. So if it's a CRM platform, a field services platform, what is the next plan on this platform? And you can see from an horizon of 1 to 3 years. And on the same day, or sometimes in the same morning, you can have a discussion with your technical team on something very specific. It's a design decision, and that will drag you at 50 feet. So you need to actually manage these differences. So sometimes you need to be strategic. You need to engage with your customers, with your partners, sales and marketing especially. So what our customer wants to see, or sometimes service or field services. Then you work on this. So you can see that more than a third of your time is dragged here. So when you plan this, I try to find a couple of points. 5 questions that we try to ask ourselves here and in the product team every time we try to bring an improvement to any of the platform that we have. I think one of the most important points is that customer requirements most of the time are not exactly product requirements, and this for multiple reasons. I just find something that I found quite interesting. And Henry Ford, when he tried actually to ask people what they want when he started to build the first car, they told him they want faster car. And definitely it goes the other way around, and we all know the success of Ford on the last 80 years. So sometimes we need to be very careful on the requirement we get from our sales and marketing team. I've noticed sometimes they don't know what they want. So I think they think they know what they want, but they are not explaining us what is the problem they're trying to solve. And most of the time, what I've seen is that we need to build small prototype, small MVP product, so people can touch the features of the platform on the platform and really tell us what they want. Because if you don't have something in front of you and the ideas coming, so this is better here, for the user experience, it's better if we can bring this type of data or no. And then it open up to many other problems. So sometimes we need to take into consideration that people in front of us, sales and marketing team, most probably, they don't know exactly what they want. Second point, sometimes they don't know what is possible and what is not, simply because it's not their job, technically. So if they come with the requirements and they tend to build the solution themselves of how they think it should work, it's really safe to say that most of the time, we're going into a war when sales and marketing come with their solution. So we need to try to bring those boundaries on the discussion on what is the problem, what is the requirement, but try to avoid going into the solution with people that are not expert. And the third point, I think it's also sometimes they're trying to solve their own problem, and it's something that I've seen. So if you come with marketing and they have a specific requirements, they will try, if they have a deadline, if they have specific KPIs, so they will tend to push you to go and develop these type of features on the platform. So there is also one point that is very important for me. So in summary, I think what we can say is that whenever we have requirements for anything that is customer-facing team, we should always try to understand what is the problem that we're trying to solve, and then try to find actually a solution for that together, but not go with the requirements. I think that's the first one that is very critical for me and for the team. Second point, I think that is very important is the people in the team, in our digital team, or even our partners. We are not the customer. So it's sometimes very easy to put myself in the shoes of a customer, and with the experience that I have and the time I spend on a platform, trying to find solution from my point of view. And I think this is something that probably many of you we have done. And Abdel was saying just earlier about ERP. So sometimes you have tendency as an IT, because you have a main project, to try to find solution. But it's always good actually to have people that part of this discussion that actually face the customer multiple times, do some testing with the customer, prepare some pain point, try to consolidate data from the customer. I think this is the best way for you to make sure that you are not giving a solution that fits you or that fits your perception of how the service should work. So obviously, it's not an easy job, because you have to crunch multiple data. So you have to work on the data that you know about the users that come from our CRM, from our campaign management on social media, or on our SMS campaign, who is replying. We have also the data that we have from the users when they enroll with their warranty with us. We have also the data from serving our users. Whenever we do installation, when they come to our showroom, when they sign contract with us, when they sign service contract with us. So all this information, we need to take all of this, whenever it's specific to a feature we're trying to put on one of our platform, and make sure that we're doing it for them and we are making it easy for them to use the platform. Because with the past, so many features or so many products are just useless, or they don't make sense, or make sense for a specific requirement, but not for the big picture. So that's the second point, I think, to take into consideration when you start building a new product on a platform. I think there is also this point that is a bit related to the previous one. Are we looking at the customer or a user of our platform? This is really like a line that we really need to draw. Because for me, the customer experience is what is the most important point actually, especially the one that sees value in our product. So they need to have enough value to ensure that whatever money, whatever time they're spending on the platform is invested wisely. So we need to understand what is the behavior. Are they coming back to the platform? At what moment they are stopping? Not as a user from just the user experience, but also as a customer because from the moment they come to our platform for a complaint, for a reordering, for a spare part, whatever, even our dealers, when they come and they come to our platform for their rebate, for their loyalty points, what are they looking for? Are they happy? How many connections we have? So we really need to differentiate the user from the customer and make sure that obviously the user behavior on the platform makes sense, but that the customer is able to get quickly what he wants and he can come back to the platform to get something else. So I think this is also something that we try to draw a line between the customer and the user on our product. The fourth one is I think this point, probably many of you already seen it, because features are not necessarily benefits. So we're trying to add into our apps more features that we realize that actually they are not really what the customer are trying to do, because nobody is on the back to actually control what type of data we have, because the team is not big enough, or we did not plan enough people to go on the platform and support. Or for example, a chat where I can register something, register one of my units, one of my AC, I want to register for a loyalty program, I want for example, be removed from the marketing campaigns, these type of things. And this is not working, so we just go with the chatbot that is actually not addressing the problem that the customer wants. So this is why also sometimes we have to be very cautious on the feature we're trying to do. And we need to make sure that anything that is not bringing value or poor experience needs to be discussed before we launch it and before we spend too much time on it. Because at the end of the day, we just have 12 months, we have a budget and we have a target. We need to absolutely make sure that whatever time the team is working on makes sense. So I just listed a couple of possible reasons for poor value proposition on some features. Sometimes the product is not solving the significant problem, and this is what I was just saying earlier. The feature that we are trying to put from technology point of view is very interesting, and we all get excited, but it's not the right place for this type of application. The feature is valuable and useful, but it's not just for the right people. And we face this a lot actually on our industry, because we can deal from an engineering consultant company that build huge buildings to facility management in a hospital environment, or someone really purchasing a purifier at home and he wants to control it from his mobile phone. So we have really different type of people, so we need to make sure that the right target has the right features that can help them. So sometimes it's just too expensive, and when we do our TCO and we try to see what is the benefit out of this, we are at crazy numbers in terms of getting back the value. So, and the last one is, this one is a bit complex, because sometimes the feature is really what we want, it's fine for the target, it's economically priced, so everything looks fine, but how we bring it and the time for us to bring it into the market, sometimes we miss, and we see that we can find the same feature out of the box without developing it in our competitor, or you see it from another editor of software and we can just buy it and go fast. So I think that's those points that can help us to make sure that whatever feature we go on makes sense for the company and for the customers. And I think the last question that everybody should ask himself is, should we add features for product improvement? So we need to understand actually, and this point is very interesting, are we doing in the right market? Are we doing an improvement? Is it what the market wants? Is it the expectation of our customer? Is it, are we improving? Do we have enough people to work on it? What is the impact? There is one point that is very interesting for me, was we try to add features that doesn't really improve the product. The sales team comes to us and they say, the customer like the product, but we have X, we have Y, but our competitor, they have Z, so we need to go absolutely and go with this. And then we realize by implementing it that it doesn't work, it's not exactly what we want. So I think there is also a discussion on our portfolio of features. What are the features that make sense, and to make sure that we can quantify the benefit before we jump into an investment in time and money. And we have the people on board with us, but we are able also to challenge them. So yeah, basically this is just my view on product management and what type of question we need to ask ourselves as head of digital department or head of IT. Make sure in the summary that we have data to back the decision that we take. We don't run too fast into a big product, because people might be disappointed at the end, so we go with MVPs. And yeah, this is basically what I think. Thank you guys.